Hey, this is Andrew Brown from Exam Pro, and in this fall along, what we're going to be taking a look at is jobs and cron jobs. So what I want you to do is go to the top here and type in Kubernetes jobs, and this should bring us to hopefully the jobs page here. Maybe we can take a look at this one as well. And so we have some example jobs. Okay, this one's a little bit more complicated, which is fine, but we'll also go to the kubectl cheat sheet. Okay, because in the course, I do use two of the samples from here. If we just type in job. And so here we have one where it says create a job which prints the word hello, create a cron job that prints hello world every minute. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and copy this first one here. And you can see it's kubectl create job hello. Maybe we'll just type it for fun, just so that we get better at remembering what is what. So we'll type in micro k8s. Kubectl create job, and we could do apply, I suppose, but jobs, they run and then they die, so I don't think you'd really be updating them. Maybe you'd be updating this one and using apply. So they have a name called hello, so we'll just copy the rest there to make our lives a bit easier. Okay, hello -- image equals busybox, so that should resolve. You probably go to Docker Hub and there's one called busybox. So a lot of times we were using the one that was sourcing Google, but I think we could just do that as well. And so it will run the echo command and it should work. So we'll hit enter and it says job.batch hello created. Notice we don't see where the output is. I'm not really sure where we would observe that, but let's just take a look here and maybe type in describe. Okay, but you can see here it says job completed, and it ran the command echo hello world. Of course, we didn't see it, but we can see that it did pass that in as the initial command. So it definitely did operate that. Now the next question would be to take a look at, let's just take a look at all of our jobs here for a moment, but to run the one on a schedule. So here it says hello, 1 out of 1, duration 2, and age. So go back over here, very similar, but we have this very interesting looking thing, and that's a cron job. So cron job cheat sheet. I wonder if there's something that we can just show you really quickly here. So if you've never seen a cron, so cron is part of Linux. So the idea is that it's a thing called cron tab, and what you're doing is you're saying, okay, run this on a schedule, and there's this thing where you specify the time in minutes, hours, days, month, Monday, month, and weekday, right? So if you have the value 0 here, which is minutes. I guess that's, wait, hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this says every hour. So 0, I guess, is 1. That's interesting. You'd think it'd be like if you put a 1, that'd be every hour, but I guess it's 0 based on how the numbers are. I'm not sure if it shows all the information. In how, oh, yeah, here we go. 0, so minutes 0 to... You'd really think this would be 1 because it says hours. Why is this every hour? Okay. Whatever. So then we have this one here. It says /15, so every 15 minutes. Then you have 0, whatever. So you kind of get the idea here. I don't fully understand the logic here. I've done this for years, but I always have to look it up. But just to show you if you want to read that yourself. But we'll go back to the cheat sheet here. If we read this, they say every minute. So I guess that makes sense because if you took an hour and divided it by 1, did you get that? Well, anyway, that's what it says it does. But, you know, this is not so important to know for the exam, but just to understand that that's where that logic comes from. And if you want to learn it on your own, you can totally do that. So what we'll do is hit enter. And, oh, we have to type in micro k8s. All right, and then we'll hit, does that look right? Micro k8s, yeah, enter. And so what we can do now is get the jobs. Maybe we have to do cron job for this. We do, so there it is. And so it says last scheduled, it is active. I assume it's active, but I guess we'll just wait here a little while and see when it does trigger. While that is going on, let's take a look at what it looks like to create a cron job file. So you use batch version 1, you have a job. Metadata, you specify your container, image, name, command, whether it should restart or not, and back off limit. So, you know, if it fails, then it will retry after a certain amount of time. It probably does exponential back off. I'm not sure if it's every few seconds or whatever. So in that sense, you can make a job that is reoccurring in some sense there. But yeah, that's pretty much all there really is to jobs. But we just want to observe that this thing works. Okay, and notice that the 1 minute's going to come up here in a moment. So it just ran. So it says 1 active last scheduled. So let's see if we can get a describe. Since there's only 1, it should pull the first one there. Notice we haven't been specifying the name at all. Okay, because usually you'd write the name, whatever it is, right? And I don't know what the name is. It is called hello. So we'd say like hello, right? And let's just take a look at what we have here. So namespace is default, no labels, no annotations. That's our schedule. Concurrency policy, allow, suspend, false. Nothing super exciting here. You can see what the pod is, last scheduled time, so last time it ran, whether there's a job that's active right now. And then we have events here. So it says create a job, saw completed job. I would think that if this runs multiple times, we'll see this kind of like a list. But what we'll do is just go back to get. So it'll probably trigger very soon. So when it's actually active, it's 1, and then when it's not active, it's 0. So this doesn't count up like to say, oh, it's ran 4 or 5 times. It's just true or false, 0 or 1, right? So what we'll do is just hit up here. We'll go back to describe because it might have already ran again. Yeah, so here it is. You can see that it's starting to pile on there. I'm just curious, like time to cron expression. Just wondering if there is a tool there that we can use. Okay, so let's say we wanted it to be every single, every second. Is it changing in real time? Okay, so it'd be this. Okay, cool. Let's say you want to do every minute. So you want to do every hour. Okay, so I'm not saying I can make sense of this. At one point, I did know how these cron expressions work, but I'm sure if you really wanted to know, yeah, here they all are. You could look up and try to understand the syntax there. But again, out of the scope of this, and we understand how to run a job in a cron job. I think what we'll want to do is just destroy that cron job so it's not constantly running. So we'll just say delete cron job hello. I'm not worried about the job one because it ran and then it stopped, so that's okay there. And I guess that's it for jobs, okay?